Welcome back, everybody. It is August 1st of 2024, and this is episode 68 of What is on My Desk. And here we are, everybody, back for another one of my monthly What is on My Desk workshop updates. And there's progress to show you on the kits. I got quite a bit done, and I have one new item to show you that I picked up at an air show. So it's going to be a bit of a shorter video today. I don't have a whole lot to go over. And as you'll see, the kit progress has been pretty spectacular. So let's get swung over to this desk. Let's take a quick look at what things look like. And before we jump into the video, I just want to say thank you for everyone who is watching. Please, if you haven't yet, down below, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you don't like what you're seeing, say something. Leave a comment, send me a message. Always happy to take some criticism. On that note, let's jump right into this. And as always, my name is Sean, and this is Sean's Aviation. Okay. Apologies in advance if I start coughing. I will try my best to edit it out. I am still fighting the tail end of a pretty bad cold. We're going to start off looking at basically just one thing. While I was down at the Thunder over Michigan Airshow, I managed to pick up a single coin. I had, they actually had quite a few of the units were selling stuff, some really cool coins. I made the mistake. So basically, long story short, I finished up with a night shift, and then I drove to Detroit basically in the middle of the night. So I got there and I was pretty tired, and it kind of messed up my sleep schedules. And then I spent Friday at the air show, and then I crashed pretty early Friday night. And then I was at the air show Saturday, ended up leaving the show early Saturday. I ducked out before the night shoot because I wasn't feeling the best. This cold kind of hit me while I was in Michigan. It's actually started on the drive down. I started getting the cough and the runny nose on the drive down, and it progressively kind of bothered me more and more while I was down there. And it got to the point where that Saturday I was feeling horrible and sitting there Saturday afternoon, not feeling good. Excuse me. And looking at the possibility of being at the airport till midnight for the night shoot and then having to drive home 8 hours on Sunday, I just kind of said no, and I ducked out. But long story short, between the drive down, the sleep schedule, and this cold hitting me, I completely forgot to go to an ATM. So I only had $20 on me to pick up the coins. So I was only able to buy one. And surprisingly, and this is, I mean, Thunder, Michigan was it was an interesting show this year, a lot of cancellations. But my biggest complaint, there was no ATM anywhere on the field. Apologies for the cough. No ATM. Everybody, you know, you walk up and you're like, hey, do you take Visa? Oh, no, we take Venmo. Great. Canadians can't use Venmo. It won't allow me to sign up for Venmo as a Canadian citizen. That's only for U.S. citizens. Like, nobody had one of those little square taps. Nobody accepted e-transfer. There was no ATMs. None of the vendors who did accept a credit card would offer cash back. I was just rocking a hard place. So I just gave up. And there's a couple of other of us down in the photo pit from Canada that was a little upset at the fact that they didn't have an ATM or nobody really accepted a credit card. Anyways, first world problems. Long story short, I only had $20 to buy one coin, and I ended up choosing this coin. I'll zoom in here a little bit so you guys can see what I'm showing you. So this is the coin from the F-16 from Edwards Air Force Base, the 370th Flight Test Squadron. I don't know what TCB, I haven't done any research on this, so I don't know what TCB stands for. But you can see around the outside is every aircraft that they fly in that unit. And being a test and evaluation unit, they fly quite a few different aircraft. And I've tried to figure out what I'm looking at here. If what I could see is correct, apologies for the cough. It looks like there's an F-35, KC-10, KC-135, KC-6, the MQ-9, a T-38, a B1, a B2. I'm going to guess that is a C5. I don't know what that is. That's a C-17. That's an F-16. If I've got that right. I just can't tell what that is. It's a twin-engine aircraft of some sort. I can't tell. I don't know. Anyways, but that's what it looks like to me. And on the backside, the flying LV. Again, I don't know I have to look up the history of this unit. It was just I like these bottle opener style coins. Yeah, I've got a few that have this style on it. The F-16 unit, the Makos have one. The the New York Ski-Bird Hercs have one. The Washington, D.C. based, I can't get this out without making a mess. Anyways, the helicopter, the UH-1 helicopter unit from DC. So there's a few of them that have this style with the hook on the side, and I kind of like it. So out of all of them, there was the C-17, and there was the F-15s, but I really like this one the most. So it's what I ended up going with. But yeah, really cool coin. It looks good mixed in with everything else on my shelf, just like all the other coins I have. It actually lives right beside the Mako. Right beside the Mako Shark one. So that is the only product I was able to purchase. Now, there'll be a lot of editing out these coughs when I get to it at the end. Anyways, I do have a new product on the way. I don't know when it's supposed to be here. I was hoping it'd be here by the end of July. I'm hoping it's here. Well, I hope should be here sometime in August, so you should see it for the September What's on My Desk. But yeah, so let's look at progress on the kits, and I actually have quite a bit of progress I was able to knock off over the past month, and I don't really know why. I haven't had any more time than before, but it's just, you know, I think I just kind of buckled down and started working on it. I'm at the point now where with painting, progress tends to happen fast, and that's kind of where I am. So we'll start with the Kate, and the Kate, it started the paint. So you can see I've got the tail painted red, I've masked it off, and I actually have the bottom painted, the bottom color already. It's like a browny gray, and the wings are also painted on the bottom. Like I said, these are going to be folded up when I'm done, which is going to look really, really, really good. So all I have left really to do is just the top color green, and that won't take long at all. Like I said, it's just a quick shot of the green. I mask off a little bit of the tail when I get to it. The canopies are all ready to go with the color, so it shouldn't take long at all to get that hit with a dark green. I've just been focused on the other ones, so that is that. And then once that's done, all I gotta do is mask off and paint the black around the front, and then I can start getting ready for decals and weathering. Next up, just because it is extremely easy to get to, I have the Hawker Hurricane, and again, it is looking really good. It's basically painted. Nothing I really need to do on this other than the bottom with the black. I just got to paint the 1/2 black, which I kind of have to figure out how I'm going to do, because I'm going to have to get in here and mask mask off. Like I'm going to have to pull this piece of masking tape off, I think in this one too, and then I'll mask across, and then I got to come right down the dead center, and then same at the nose. I'm gonna have to pull off some of this masking and then come straight down the middle and then cut it across and then mask a little bit to make up the difference. So I'm gonna have to play with it a little bit, but then I'm gonna hit that. I'm gonna use the same as I did before. The pans are dark gray. This is the same color I used when I did the A26s and stuff. It's a really, really dark gray, but it looks scale when you paint it. So black doesn't look black. Now you have to realize that when you scale it down, if you paint it flat black, it looks really, really dark. So you use a dark gray and it scales out quite nicely, and that's what I plan to do. So I'll do that with the one wing. Once that's on, then I can pull a good chunk of this masking across the bottom and the band, and then I can hit it with gloss coat and start decaling. This is gonna have minimal weathering. I think I'm just gonna do a little bit of exhaust staining down the side, just enough to look like it was flown, you know, on a show or something. So just once I hit it with gloss coat, decals, tiniest little bit of weathering, I'm gonna hit it with a semi-gloss. And then that's it. So it shouldn't take long to get this finished once I get that bottom painted. And then it's just assembling all of the fiddly bits and getting it all put together. So it's coming along really, really good. I'm super happy. And then other things I got to do, I got to glue the machine guns into these outer bits, but that's really easy after the fact. cover these inner ones. I'm probably going to use a piece of Tamiya tape and just cut it to shape and then hand brush it red to cover those guns the way the one is in real life. And then, yeah, other than that, it's pretty much done. Like, it's coming along really nicely. It looks super, super good. I can't wait. I'm going to have to message the pilot soon and find out when he's in Ottawa next and make a plan to go meet him out at the Gatineau Airport and hand off to him. Next up is the B-17. I actually just got this thing painted today. I'm super happy with how this turned out. Again, it's a little hard to see all in one shot, but it's painted with Vallejo olive drab, and then I went around and I lightened the olive drab and I hit things like the fabric covered control surfaces with a slightly lighter coat of lightened olive drab, and then I sporadically hit it with some lightened olive drab to break up the color. And then I used dark olive drab, and I went ahead and got the side of the tail. Let's see if I can get some. There you go. I painted this section of the tail with a darker color. This was built by a subcontractor and used a slightly different shade, so it weathered differently than the other color. So it's always a slightly different shade. And then also, I don't know how well this comes up on camera, I masked and painted around this YB40 conversion piece with the darker olive drab. And that was to make it look like it was an aftermarket edition, which it actually was on the real plane. These things were built in the factory as a F and then sent to be modified, I believe, by Douglas with this YB40 section. And so it would have been, that section was cut out and rebuilt with a new piece. And so it would have been painted different than the rest of the airframe. And so that's kind of what I was going with. And yeah, we'll see how it turns out. I did masking with the markings, so I'm excited to get those peeled off and see how they turn out. I don't know how well this comes up on camera. I am super, super happy with how this paint turned out. It looks amazing in person. Once I get a good shot of like a black wash on it and some weathering, this thing is just gonna look unbelievable. The only thing I did forget to do, I forgot to paint the cowlings, but that doesn't bother me too much because I do actually have to figure out how I'm gonna paint them. Like, there's a lot of work I still need to do on those. I'm gonna have to figure out, what I have to do is I have to get the engine faces mounted and then mount them and then make sure that I bring across the camo line at the right place. So I'm probably gonna have to paint those much later in the process. Potentially even get the engines painted, glue them together, put them on, mask it, and then paint the upper part. Luckily, again, I'm not too worried because these cowlings usually tended to have a different shade. They were interchangeable between aircraft, and because a lot of exhaust staining and oil staining and stuff came out, well, I mean, the exhaust didn't. The exhaust came out of the turbochargers, but you would have dirty airflow and oil coming out from below them. You tended to have different shades. So I'm not terribly worried if I paint these after the fact, but I still have to paint the cowlings. And the top turret, I forgot to paint the top turret while I was painting everything, so that will have to be done later as well. But again, it's a simple process. Luckily, it's not a custom mix. I just hit it with the olive drab and it's done. Other than that, like I said, we're moving along really good on that. I'm very happy with how this has turned out. Again, I think it's just, I'm gonna have to start pulling some of these maskings, and then I'm gonna have to start decaling. The other thing I have to do, which I mean, I might have to do some of these cowlings first. I need to, whether I masked off this waist gun, I'm gonna have to pull this tape and make sure I blend that color back in. And we'll see how it looks when I pull the masking tape, but I have a feeling that that's gonna show, and I'll have to go in here and clean it up a little bit. I can do that later, luckily, but I will have to do that eventually, and I'll touch that up. So I might do that at the same time I do this, but yeah, you have no idea how happy I am with the way this paint turned out. It looks unbelievably good, and I can't wait to play with some weathering on it and make it look even better. Just give me 2 seconds. I gotta go grab the next model. So lastly, we have the Avro Lincoln, and if you saw the progress on that Hurricane, you have a good feeling for where it is. This also has the camo painted on it, and once again, this kit is a beast. It's just too big to fit into the frame. So all I really need to do left on this is just paint the black underside. There's a little bit of paint pulled up here. I'll touch that up by hand probably. And then I just got to mask. I'm letting this dry pretty nicely before I mask it. I don't want to pull any tape off or pull any color off. I did mask with um, the painter's tape and some of the little sausagey things that I use, the blue tack sausages to do the camo. And other than that one spot, I didn't lose any paint, so I should be okay. But I don't want to take any chances. But I'll have to mask off along the side, and I'll probably do one side at a time. But then I've also got to mask off the engines, and then the entire bottom is going to be painted black, same as the Hurricane, with that dark German gray. The pans are dark gray, and I'll go ahead and do that. I might even do it. I don't know how. It's going to be a lot of work to go around this thing, but anyways, I'll mask it all off, and yeah, it's coming right along. I'm very happy with how this looks. But yeah, a little bit of masking, a little bit more painting. This is going to be a lot of work. I think this will be more work than all the other ones, but it's going to look so good when it's done. And then this, again, it's going to be like the Hurricane. It's going to be dead flat, but it's going to be minimal weathering. I might give it a subtle black wash, just enough to say that it has a black wash on it, and then minimal weathering. And then other than that, it's just going to have standard roundels and the wing walks. That's basically it. There's no markings, there's no nothing on this. So it's going to look basic, but it's going to be really nice when it's done. Then I got a lot of little things to do still. I've got the turrets to assemble. I got to paint inside this black. I got to do the turret in the back has to be built up. All that has to be masked off and painted. The propellers have to be assembled. The landing gears have to be glued in. All the gun barrels and antennas and everything have to be mounted to it. So there's a lot of work still on this one, but it's coming along. I'm super happy with it. So yeah, we'll wrap it up here. That's the status of the 4 kits. So hopefully the next time, I shouldn't say hopefully, I can almost guarantee you the next one around in March, my God, August, what's on my desk update, I should have all of the painting done, and I should be if not already, very close to decal. So come back, we'll take a look then. But on that note, thank you everybody for watching. If you haven't yet and you have enjoyed what you're watching, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. All of that helps this channel grow. Take a look at my other playlists if there's anything else that you enjoy. If you enjoy watching this kind of progress, check the time-lapse builds. Take a look at some of the airshow videos I have and all that other stuff. I know I've been talking about this for a while. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks, hopefully a week, I should be doing one of my first live stream working on a kit that you guys chose. So let's, I'll plan for that. I'm hoping next Monday is going to be the first one. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see, but that's my plan. And yeah, so let's just wrap it up here. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you all next time.